Hi, hello everyone. So in this video, we're going to see the cooking process of a very nice dish, which is called pasta reale. And it's actually a dish that my grandma used to cook to me all the time during winter time, for example, when it's cold outside. It's one of my favorite dishes because from the area where I'm from, which is Modena in the north of Italy, and it's kind of famous for balsamic vinegar, tortellini and other pasta, because it's kind of a forgotten dish which has so much potential in terms of gastronomic impact that you can have on a dinner table with friends, or even for yourself if you want to have like a cozy night. I really love it because it's made like the basic ingredients are eggs and parmesan, which are really, my favorites at the end. But I also really like it because it has a history. And for example, my grandma used to tell me that it was used to be served at night during weddings when she was young. While for lunch they would have tortellini, for example. So it's kind of a very traditional dish. Also, the roots of this dish goes back to Napoleon, probably, because apparently his wife used to cook pasta reale for Napoleon when he was coming back from the battlefield. So because it's a very nutritious dish, apparently Napoleon was appreciating it. The reason why I love it, behind the fact that I'm really affectionate to this dish because it's part of my family tradition and my area, is because it's very tasteful and it's really nutritious because of parmesan, the eggs. It's also very easy to do. And so I really hope you enjoy this recipe because it's one of my favorite ones. So you really cannot miss this one. So in order to cook as the best of our possibilities, we have to go get the best of the ingredients we can get. So we're gonna go to a neighbor which is actually cultivating really great vegetables and has great eggs for our preparation of today. Ciao! Come va? Roberta is a farmer and she lives really close to my home, nearby the countryside of Modena. I have many reasons to buy vegetables and eggs from Roberta. First of all, I grow vegetables myself and I will soon have chickens, but so far what I produce is not enough for making my recipe all the time. Second, whatever she provides for are really nice quality vegetables and eggs, and I really appreciate the way she grows the plants, because every technique she uses, it's organic and it's kind of old style, so she knows what she's doing all the time. Io le prenderei tutte quelle che sono che ci stanno. Quanta pasta reale che ci faccio con queste belle uova. Dai. Ok. Bene, buona giornata. Ciao Roberta, grazie di tutto. Ciao. First mission completed. We got the best eggs we can get around Modena. Before digging into the execution, let's take some time to observe our ingredients and let's understand the quality of it. Parmesan cheese. I personally believe it's the king of cheeses. It's from my city area and it's done from a century-old, exquisitely complex cheesemaking tradition. Once I made Parmesan with my mom's husband, which is a great cheesemaker, and of course I almost got locked into the butter fridge room because I was tasting freshly made butter. I absolutely love the experience of making Parmesan, but this is another story. Now, let's observe the king of cheeses. Its surface is rough. The texture depends on the breakage of the coagulating mass of casein, the milk protein. The taste is a perfect balance between fat and salt, and the little white spots of calcium adds a crunchy, almost spicy feeling on the tongue. Eggs. I've always liked eggs very much from an aesthetic point of view. The perfect ellipsoidal shape of the egg, the speckled pattern and the ingenious materiality of the shell. Now you see these eggs. The orange has an intense color. It recalls the perfect shape of the circle, the orange color of the sun, almost like an absolute and artistic form. By breaking the yolk, we feel a plastic and compact feeling. This is of fundamental importance when we cook homemade pasta, for the flavor, the workability of the dough, and the plasticity of the mass. Supermarket eggs will never give the same result that these eggs give. Remember, happy hands equal to good eggs. Today we're going to make pasta reale for 3, which means we will have 3 eggs, 100 g of flours, 100 g of parmesan, and a little bit of nutmeg. We will prepare separately some meat broth to cook the pasta reale. We put the flour in a bowl with the eggs and mix it with a fork. Then we add the parmesan and mix it. We can add a little bit of flour if the mass is too liquid, but let's not exaggerate with this. When the mass reaches the texture that we want, we add a little bit of nutmeg. We take a natural fiber cloth and put the mass inside to create a bowl. The size can be variable, but do not make it more than 4 to 6 inches of diameter or it's going to be hard to cook. Then let's close the cloth with an elastic. In the meanwhile, bring the meat broth to boil and let's put the mass inside the broth. The mass has to be almost fully covered by the broth. This way it will cook with a taste. The pan needs to be closed with the lid and cook at low-mid fire for about 30 to 40 minutes. When it's ready, we remove the elastic and the cloth and we cut the mass into slices of maximum 5-10 mm thick. We make sure the core of the mass is solid or it will be hard to cut it. We cut the little squares in both directions, always 5-10 mm thick, by following the geometry of the slices. Then we finally get pasta reale. The color is bright yellow and the texture is kind of spongy. When we are ready to eat it, we put it in boiling meat broth again and let it cook for about 5 minutes. Let's add a bit of parmesan on top and then it's ready to be served. So good, just like my grandma's one. Okay, so now pasta reale is served, finally. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. As you have seen, the steps of the recipe are kind of simple, and I hope the process has been clear for you. If it's not clear enough, please don't forget to leave comments, and if you like overall the recipe, please put a like under this video and also subscribe to the channel. And I also give you a couple of tips. First, before cutting the little cubes, when you remove the mass from the boiling broth, do not forget to make it rest for 15 minutes so that the broth evaporates from the mass, and then it's going to be easier for you to cut the little cubes as the mass gets denser. If it's a little bit liquid inside the bowl, it's fine. So you won't be able to cut into cubes the inner part of the bowl, but that's fine. Another advice that I give to you really strongly is to cook a little bit extra of pasta reale so that you can store it in the refrigerator and have it at night when you come back home from work. You're tired, you don't want to cook, well, great, let's get some pasta reale from the fridge and that's ready. So it can be stored in the fridge for 2-3 days, but better to freeze it up in the refrigerator so it's ready for the next time you will want to eat it. So thank you so much. Enjoy pasta reale.